Hi everyone, and welcome to your second science lesson. So remember, our science topic this term is rocks, and today we're going to be learning about the three different types of natural rock. Now they're called metamorphic, sedimentary and igneous, and you're going to be learning about how they're formed. Now to help me with that, I just need to transition into Professor Brooks, the scientist. So 3, 2, 1. Transformation complete. So we're going to be using some starbursts to help us learn about the different types of rocks and think about how they're formed. So we're going to use 4 starbursts for each type of rock, and I'm keeping the colours the same for each one so that you can see what happens to them. All of the rocks get pushed together by the seawater, and then they get squashed down. So I'm squeezing this sedimentary rock as hard as I can. And obviously this process would take millions and millions of years, and it wouldn't be an actual person squeezing it. It's just squeezed by the pressure of the other rocks and other dead plants and animals. So this is what the sedimentary rock looks like, the starbursts one. So it's got all of the different colours mixed together from all of that pressure and squeezing. This is what a real sedimentary rock looks like. So you can see how all of the different types of rocks are mixed together in this. And if you look really closely, you can see that there might have been some sort of creatures or animals inside this. So those are called fossils. When you can see the remains of an animal or a plant, that's called a fossil. So it's something that was squashed down inside. So if you can imagine the bones of an animal being squashed down inside here, you might get a little imprint inside it. So it's the same with the rocks. So this is a better example. You can see the fossil just there. So that would have been some sort of sea creature. And the same with this one, you can see it really clearly on there. So you can see how that was squashed and squeezed inside all of those other rocks from millions and millions of years ago. Now far underground, the temperature is hot enough to melt rock into a liquid. This is called molten rock. Molten rock underground is called magma. Now, when this cools or hardens, it becomes igneous rock. Or if there is, lava when it comes out of a volcano, when that comes out, the sudden temperature change from being really hot inside that volcano to coming out of it into the colder air, that can cause the rock to really quickly cool and harden. So let's put some extreme heat on these starbursts. So this is the starburst straight out of the microwave. So they're really hot to the touch. So I'm not going to touch it because I'd burn myself. But once this cools and hardens, we'll have igneous rock. This is a real igneous rock, and this is called granite. So as I move it in the light, you can see that there are some little bits which look like crystals inside it, which are a little bit sparkly. Now that's caused from going through the huge temperature change from really hot inside the earth or inside the volcano to being outside into the air. So the last rock type that I'm going to show you is obviously metamorphic rock. So this is formed from igneous or sedimentary rock that already exists that goes through a change. So sometimes a posh word for change is metamorphosis, which sounds like metamorphic. So metamorphic just means that igneous or sedimentary rock goes through a change. Now this change is caused from intense, really strong heat and pressure underground. So I've got the starburst in my hand, so imagine they're my igneous or sedimentary rock. What I'm going to do is blow on them and then squeeze them as hard as I can, and that will make our metamorphic rock. So this is the finished metamorphic rock, and this is a real metamorphic rock. So you can see in the same way that the colours have all mixed together from the pressure, you can see all of these sort of stripy lines on the metamorphic rock. Now this part of the rock is shiny and it's quite smooth, whereas this other side of the rock is a lot rougher. So to put it simply, these are the three types of rock. So we have sedimentary, caused by extreme pressure, igneous, caused by extreme heat, and metamorphic, caused by extreme heat and pressure. So real igneous and metamorphic rocks are really similar in that when you put water on them, nothing happens. Whereas when you put water on sedimentary rock, it absorbs the water. So water can get into it. That's called permeability. So we can say that sedimentary rock is more permeable than metamorphic and igneous, where you can't see the water in or on the rock. In the same way, sedimentary isn't as hard as metamorphic and igneous rocks. Sedimentary crumbles, and it can crumble quite easily. You can see that this has been broken off a bigger rock, whereas metamorphic and igneous don't crumble as easily. If I put a chisel to igneous or metamorphic, nothing would come off, whereas it would, and it would create a huge mess with sedimentary. Right, let me swap back from Professor Brooks to Miss Brooks. There we go. So now your activity to do with that is to make a poster all about the three different types of rock. So you can use the information that you've learnt about from the starburst today, so about how they're formed. You could research the rocks and maybe come up with some examples of each type. You could draw them. However you do it is up to you, but it needs to be a way that will help you to remember the three different types of rocks and how they're formed. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and thank you all for watching. I can't wait to see what you make, and I will see you next time. Bye!